Good morning, folks. It's 9:53 a.m. on the second month, 27th day, 2025. Yeah, I'm having a look around at some of what's feeding this storm. What geoengineering is it taking to create the heated flows, to create the particles that are needed to make the cloud condensates, the microwaves that are making this hazy plasma look to the top of this particular part of the storm. And I'm going to have a look at some of the geoengineering of obvious conditions. Now, I'm hearing reports from the people in the news saying this thing's going to go Cat 5. I couldn't disagree any more than that. The corridors of flow are still set in place, as evidenced by this square look to everything over here. So the possibilities of this being what I call a coastal cruiser is high. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But that's not what I want. I want this. The pen. Mr. Squiggles is going to come out in I don't know what he's going to draw today. I just know he's going to show you the truth. Because if we ain't selling the truth, we're just a bunch of liars. Now, here's where I'm leaning toward a coastal cruiser, is the shape here. Now, I've seen two EMFs coming out from here. Oh, that's I want red. Green is always the path. Though that does show up real well. Now, I've seen this happen. And right here, there's a flat, okay? And it comes out like this, okay? And it's on a trapezoid, kind of like this, with another beam coming out to the north of it, and like this. They've really created a flow boundary for this storm that's still in existence. And if you look at that haze there, that's also another beam. And you're starting to see a spot where there's an intersection of beams, which is leading me to believe you have a ship out here. That's also, it looks like it is being north as well. Like that. See that? A lot of chem has been sent over those islands over there to the east. But if I look even in here, you know, that's almost like my initial in the sky. At what point would that be a natural thing to see? Right? It's unnatural. They're taunting me. There's a chem bomb deployment in there and in there. Held inside a field of EMF where the waveforms will be bouncing back and forth in here. Then they hit a wall of stuff that's bouncing up and down like that and there. So the echo of that has created a solidity to the atmosphere that things have trouble to go beyond. You see a bit of a step move right here showing up into the cloud mesh itself, which is showing me a corridor of flow for this storm to find easy to fit between. As it comes down here, it hits this wall, it's going to have to stop. It's going to slow down and then may even just curve because of the way the winds are all feeding in that direction, going like that. That is possible this thing's going to do this. Very, very possible. It's going to come down here and it's going to stall a little bit or curve and get back into this corridor and just come nail you guys. It's very possible to do this. Well, so once it gets into this area here, it can go either way. This is currently moving up coast here, like this, towards this direction here. From way down here, I know the coastal flow. So that even hitting that can cause that fold to continue to go down coast like this. And that's a big concern. And when it does that, it's going to sling some water in that direction. And that's what I'm concerned about for this area here in particular. Let me change colors. And this area here, you see this V? That's a channel of conicity that'll allow flow to go right in that way. Yeah, we'll do it again. Yeah, I know some. Sorry, Higgins, you better just pay attention and steal someone else's map. Same with you, Tim. So I'll show you again with here for the inland flow now. So you can see. I'll just keep that blue on here. You see this EMF square out here? And it is. It's big. Well, inside that, you have a conicity. It's been set up all the way out to sea in that direction. It's going to allow flow to go inland here. As the storm goes south, it spits water out because the pressure will get a little weird looking. And that bubble, when it moves up, will leave some water behind as it oscillates back down. Yeah, I know it's a weird looking thing. And everybody, calm down. You're going to get a Cat 1 storm go along your coast. You can handle this. I don't see no Cat 4. I don't see no Cat 5. Just remember, the news sells the fact that you're worried about something. Yeah, it's going to get trapped along the coast here. It's going to have a hard time getting past this boundary here. I'll show you again. Just have to keep doing it this way. That'll work. I can show you more of the coastal flow now. This is why I'm saying this. The geoengineers will set the conditions they want. If flow line wise, I got this. When it gets in here, she'll spit some water in here and just come down. If it hovers here, because there's two bands of flow, even if it hovers here, this thing is well, it's sitting about 1,000 miles off coast. It's about 800 miles wide. Its inland part would come all the way to here, and the water sling is still going to go on into this area here that I've just totally blanked out. Yeah, I understand you're having a surfing contest down there over at Tweeds this weekend. Oh, yeah, you're going to have some great surf for that. Yeah, I want to see some pictures. You see these flow lines here? She can't even leave until she gets there. She can't leave till she gets there. I don't know why they're bullshitting around and fannying about. Well, no, there's another path that can leave, actually, right here. Just a little north of there. I see a secondary path that's shown right here. I'll show you. I have to use live satellite images to do my determinants, because the most of the stats coming off windy from this storm so far are absolute lies. Absolute lies. Now, if we look at coastal flow, right? See this V shape down there by Brizzy? It's a very defined line, this. Oh, you ain't getting past me. All right, that's shot. All right, this is shot. That's shot. Completely shut. Nothing go there. It just ain't happening. This here is channeling moisture in that direction to go into the storm that way. See that big mess of crap, and I'll show you that in action. The guy of Ra over here just is sitting there. He is kind of obvious. This chemtrail here. Not good. Not good. Hey, the setup for looks like we're going to start parking it the first time is right about here when it comes in. No, I'm off just a little bit. She's going to come in. She should squat right about here and then hit this line and turn in. That's what that should happen just from reading these cloud dynamics. And if you look right here, you'll see a cone. When it comes in here, the winds are going to get increased. Yeah. That's where she wants it. That's it, dudes. That's it. That's where she's going. That's what she's going to do. So let's look at some of the geoengineering I see here. Oh, look at that here, huh? Mighty big square over there. See it underneath there? Right in the center? What kind of eye is that? That's a man-made storm. That's being moved. And it's being moved now. See this chembomb here at Fiji right off your coast? Where do you think your water's coming from? It's coming from all this crap here. Here's a tendril, there's a tendril, there's a tendril, and each one of those bands that comes in is going to drop a couple centimeters of water. Port Vila, you're getting very, very lucky. That line right there is where this water line's pretty much stopping. You'll get some rains, but the super totals that area is not going to bear very well over the next few days. They got some tough times there. But the cut move, as I call it, has occurred. That's now free to turn on its own and into that set of EMF that's all set up over here to guide it to shore. And once it gets to shore here in about 36, 48 hours, I'll know a lot more. When it gets over to about here, we'll see the EMF move that's going to happen to bring it ashore. And until then, nobody knows. Don't everybody say Robert knows. Because I'm still uncertain as to what's going to happen tomorrow, or if even tomorrow will exist. Now look at the shape of the eye on this. So, there to go from here. Let's look at some of the infrared imagery we have on the storm. Now, this is the last 6 hours. And now for your man-made weather. And this is what it's taking to fuel this thing. You got to bring that cold air up from the south. You got to have it mixed just right at just the right time with the warm air from the tropics. Yeah, to simulate what Mother Nature would do. Wait, this is not moving. Move. Doot, 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 doot. Wait, it's an angry looking eye, isn't it? Yeah, this is not natural. Look at the difference of the temperatures here. In that cluster here, 1, 2, 3 dots. That's not a good looking toilet flush, is it? This is not a happy image. My bandwidth is let's see if we can just grab it and move it. Right, this is about the moment here where this storm really took on its own. And when they backfilled here with a chem bomb that went from this direction to that direction, you'll see it fueled up. And it's actually, if you look right in here, you'll see the plume that it gave off in this mess here go that direction. But it's coming out square. Watch, I got to do this, I guess, this way. Right here, look. Right where I'm pointing here, where the middle finger is, look there. Psst. See the bomb? And it backfills. It goes upwind. It's not channeling in. You see these two lines here? That's another square being made. And it was at that moment the eye was drawn, as I call it. They draw it. So it shows up on radar and you go, oh my God, look, this monster. And the news that's owned by our oppressors who sell geoengineering and climate change want you to think it's worse than it is. I don't see how a Category 4 storm's going to hit us. And on the 3-year anniversary of Lismore and on the 4-year anniversary of a devastating cyclone that impacted the Capricorn coast, I got to say another geostorm is afoot because I covered both of those storms, and both of those storms were man-made as well. And this is not my first rodeo. And I'm watching it happen again, and they're damn sure chem bombed you up. I could run through a forecast, but I just told you that part. I could run through a bunch of totals, but why wind you up? So let's look at the geoengineering. Is that what's going to ease your mind? Is this what eases your mind? These are liars telling us totals. These are liars telling us what's going to happen. That's not matching what I just said. Let's see if this one's going to lie. Like, this is why sometimes I just rather just sit here and go, all right, I'll tell you guys what I see. Right? This thing should be hitting right about here. They say, nope. Fucking off. And I'd like that to happen. But how come I'm not seeing the truth down here? Where's the coastal cruiser? How come you're being lied to? I ain't kidding, man. This is just not... I don't see how that's going to play out like that. That's why I say sometimes it's better to just tell you guys. Because Wendy's been lying all along. And now they're slowly start creeping this thing towards shore. That ain't close enough. Nah, I'm not buying this one. I think it's time for some honesty. It looks like the valley over here is going to catch some flow drop. I don't see how theirs is playing out like it is. So I'm just going to continue to show you the geoengineer. To say in about 36 hours, I'll look at the beams and I'll know what's going to happen. Right? Currently, it's sitting in 1,045 kilometers due west of Cairns. Yep. And the toxified air over Cairns has been deployed without care. Look at these bombs. How many directions of the wind here? You see what I'm saying? This is man-made. See these wispy chem bombs over here? Why? Because we let them. Because you need heated outflows. You need particles in the atmosphere. You need a Nazi flag in your sky right here on the low deck. Why? Because we let it happen. Look at this. Did somebody drop a domino? It's geoengineer right here in one of what they call the feeder bands, and it's being well fed. Look at the EMFL flow here off of New Caledonia. Bzzz, getting fried, Coral Sea in Polynesian style. Look at these vapors here going off on your Port Villain over here. You guys got sprayed like bugs. And again, another Nazi flag here. Do. Go full Elon. My goodness, look at that, huh? That's geoengineering. This is filth. This is man-made weather fueling storms that are causing demises and causing malaises, breaking my heart to even watch. You want to see the mimic on this? Here's some data. I just give you some basic data. I don't do their storm track. I totally disagree with. But the intensities are starting to match up what I was expecting to see. Oh, that has disappeared. Now let's get rid of that crap. I don't agree with their forecast. Their forecast is saying on down to a Cat 1. And somehow your news is pumping up the numbers. Or is somebody trying to get you to subscribe to their weather service? Because I imagine they'll be having an update coming very soon. Because I've just done one. They don't even agree about the wind speeds. Or the pressures. So I said it's difficult to get honest data when the data you're provided is flawed. How can you have an informed consent of anything if you're not told? Right? If nobody tells you this is going on, how could you voice your opinion against it? You can't. You only find out later on that something that was sold as safe and effective is far from that. Look at this. It's like they wrote letters in the sky here. An R and an A. And we see the IRI drawn in the sky over here. Are they doing some magic on us? It's an obvious. How much more obvious do you need? Of geoengineering of a megastorm. But it ain't on category 5. And you guys can handle a Cat 1, Cat 2, because you're Australians and you're fucking tough. You got this shit. What you all panicking like a bunch of pussies for? Quit acting like pussies. When Venom tells you jump, you always gonna jump? Or Robert's telling you to calm the fuck down. Yeah, this flow boundary here is very well set. I'm not altering it. I don't see how the hell it's gonna do what they say. So they know the weather plan more than I do. The computer knows where it's going to beam. The computer knows what streams to swallow, what dreams to kill. And if you don't like that, well, join me in saying no more, no more. I'm not the systems whore. Yeah, that's bullshit, that. Tell the weather people to bring that son of a bitch in and let them be honest. Why are you going to make these people suffer? Because there's a lot of water sitting out there. A whole lot of water. And it's going to go somewhere. I have a feeling they ain't wasting that over Lord Howe Island. I have a feeling they ain't wasting it. Well, let's see what else Naxhole's showing us today. Oh my God, look at Tassie. Isn't that a shame? Bzzz. Boy, you guys getting fried. Here they come on a run, taking the burger from your bun. And a lot of your air is now fried. Am I going to get in trouble for doing that song now? You only like to blame cow farts, but there's more dogs farting in this world than anything. They don't do that, do you? They don't go after that. Our oppressors like that lapdog, don't they? Don't be their lapdog. Look at their fried Tassie guy. That's an absolute crime scene. That causes the beaching of whales. That causes navigational problems in animals. And if whales beach along this coastline, in the next 36 hours, I'm going to blame the CMF. I'm going to blame those beams. I'm going to blame stuff like this that I'm going to show you now. Because there was some fair beams, I guarantee that. So I'll go over here and pull up the mimic from the last, I should have this downloaded already. Oh, well, we'll do it again. Here's the last 24 hours of mimic. And they was doing that whipping move where they tighten up the storm and whip it around. Look at the western side through in here. See that? And the big wall of EMF comes out here. You see the aimer. You see where it's going. They just showed you that the turn where they want it. They're pulsing that thing over and down. Over and down. So she's going to move south. And she tracked south fast. Each one of these is 1 degree. So she's jumped nearly 2 degrees. Now a degree and a half of latitude has been moved south upon in that period of time. So yeah, she's on the move. It's being whipped from the top and the bottom. And it is going to, I think she'll go Cat 2. I don't see how a Cat 4 is going to happen. But I've seen how they've turned a Cat 1 into a Cat 5 for Acapulco within 24 hours just from some beamings that happened right next to using a ship. So you never can tell what's going to happen tomorrow. See, anybody that says they're sure about this, oh, good on you. That wasn't me. But I'm just telling you, calm the fuck down. I don't see no Cat 5. I see some problems coming. You guys got this, and we'll have the most accurate totals of all within about 36 hours. Once this thing hits that wall of EMFs and decides where it's going to turn, once you can look towards your coastline and see what's going on. Here, watch this big beam shoot up your coast. Bzzz. Look at this pulse out here. And we all see what this did down here. The pulsators are on. Swelling streams, killing dreams, beaming and beaming and beaming. Bzzz. There was a lot of ships. I took quite a few screenshots of data today. You can come over here, I'll find it. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Yeah, I'm tired. I have, which was the mimic I marked? That was last night's. Oh, this was some paths I marked earlier, because I like to pull out my previous ones to see how things changed. And this one here was showing, was basically showing the same thing. Where it's going to turn, why it's going to turn, I explained. And that was how the beam that's coming from over here, we said boom, boom, to woom. This next thread is affecting the weather, whether its radar is showing or not. And I've seen these pulses come out centered right exactly where the middle finger is pointing. You see this straight line? Yeah, it's an influence line that's going to put some a path of resistance out for the center of the circulation. So we have to watch when it hits these points of where the turn's going to be. Yeah, she's set up to go down coast. She's set up to come in a bit. If it comes in north of here, she goes inland quite a bit. If it comes in over here on Capricorn coast right here, she kisses the coastline and comes straight down. Sling some water inland, have a nice day on that. That's what I say about that. I don't really care what other people say. Right. Absolutely. Because that's just how that's going to go. Yep. That's how it's going to go today, anyhow. That's what the EMF said. Bzzz, boy, is that a big boy. That is not a small storm. Not small at all. It's covered a lot of area. And it is geoengineered from plume to plume. They're deploying another batch right over here now. Boom, boy, that spread out well. Okay, it's going to look like quite a big storm coming up. But I got you covered. I'll be watching. The latest images was this one here in particular. And this is the infrared grayscale from about an hour ago. It just passed that little island over there. And that's not Willis Island. Willis Island's beaming away up there in the northern Coral Sea up there. See the cascading chem and the deployments from this side here going in. Pow, pow. Look at the chem bombs on the edge over here. Headed the opposite way because the beam heated outflow line will go towards cold. Cold is that way, cold is that way. Or from the center of a beam. Yep. So that's what the geoengineering is today, and your tropics is covered in filth. Absolutely toxic. I bet people's be sneezing and wheezing. Because it's the sneezing and the wheezing seasoning when they're deploying the cyclone seasonings. And it's time for us to take their spice cabinet away. Big love, stay safe. Peace.